Welcome to the Lions Review. Today, we're going to be checking out this guy. This is the Umidigi UWatch2. It's their first smartwatch that I've owned. They've sent me a review unit, so I've tried it out. And today, I'm going to be reviewing this as part of a series. For some background, this is my Fitbit Charge 2. Nice watch that I have from 2018. These were going for about $180. I found mine 50% off at Micro Center, so $90. This one's the gunmetal series, has a heart rate monitor and a little fancy band that went along with it. Pretty nice overall package with the Fitbit and their app. Their app, blows everything else away as far as these watches go. These watches use a generic app that is used by a number of different brands, so maybe that's why it's not that great. But this one happens to have a round body, and you look at that round face on there, and you see a big border. Well, that's because of the square LCD. I'll get more into that later on, but first let's take a closer look at the watch itself. So here we have the box that Umidigi sends the watch in. You get a manual that's pretty thick, but don't worry, it's only a few pages in English. Everything else foreign language. So it goes over your features. Also has this QR code to scan if you want to use that to download the app. They also give you an extra set of these pins for additional bands if you need them. They do give you this metallic mesh band. It actually comes installed on it with this magnetic clip. It's pretty nice. I used it originally, then I swapped over to the sports one. This is the power cord, USB. Pretty standard, and then I thought it was a little flimsy. It felt that way, but it actually held up. Then you have this charging port, which is magnetic, so you just put it on the back there and it sticks. So sometimes with the metallic band, it would actually stick to the metallic band, so you have to be a little careful and make sure you're actually getting it to stick to the charging port and not some other metallic item that's laying around or near your watch. So here we have the watch again. On the back is where you can see those pins I was mentioning earlier. You have this round body but a square LCD, so you can see how the round clock faces just don't look right. At least to me they don't on here. You swiping up and down or side to side. You have your training. You have your step count, distance, and calorie, which is kind of off when it does use that. Sleep on the watch was pretty nice instead of having to go to the app. And then swiping up and down again, you get into your settings, which I'm going to do just to show you the brightness on here. It comes with maybe 2 or 3, I can't remember. But it was not bright enough in the sunlight, so I had to turn it up. And then I'm going to switch styles because I just prefer the square look better than the round looks on this, since it is a square LCD. So going through these menus again, your training, they got football on here, which is actually soccer, which I found interesting, but it is from overseas, I guess. And you got your heart rate monitor. It's pretty much on par with others. This blood pressure monitor and an SpO2 monitor, which gives you numbers, but I don't know how accurate those actually are. And you can do your messages on here, but you only can have up to 3 on there. Your 3 most recent, your weather, today, tomorrow, and 4 additional days. I actually found the weather app on here pretty nice. It gave you more info than any other one I saw. And you have your shutter and your music player. Music player, I actually use quite a bit. The shutter, not so much. You have a timer. I've never used it, but it's there. And then back to your settings where you have also a reset and a power off. So the power off just obviously turns it off. The reset will do it more like a factory resetting. So here we are with the Fit. Yes, the Fit. It's not a Chicago thing. That's just what the app is called. DAFIT. Look it up in Google Play Store. You'll find it. So this is a generic app. It's not written by Umidigi. It's a third-party app that just works with these various fitness trackers that are out there. So you can kind of see what they got available for you to click on and, just see what you're doing for various days. I think it keeps a week for everything here, if I'm not mistaken. Well, actually, no, it got a month right here. So you can see everything that you've been doing with it. When I initially used this watch, I had a lot more information in here. So this one also does the blood pressure and blood oxygen. Like I said, if you think those are accurate, I don't, but that's just me. So here's your watch faces, and as I mentioned, there are 3 watch faces that are on the watch itself. The 4th one is the one that you can download. You can click this More Face Watch, and when that comes up, you'll see that there's a bunch of different watch faces you can download. So you click one of those, it'll download it, and that becomes available as one of your watch faces. Now your other settings are your notifications. You can give it access to the phone and to the SMS messages or any of these other apps. Just remember, 3 messages maximum. So if you get a lot of messages, that's not going to hold all of them. It's only going to hold your last 3. You can set alarms. The shutter, I'm not really sure why they put it on the app, because it's on the watch itself. But, if I press that, it will just start up the camera app. So to me, it just doesn't make sense to have it there. Here are these other ones. If you click Find Device, your device starts to vibrate so you can find it. Time formats is 12 or 24. Units, you're going to use a British system here in the US. Metric system probably everywhere else. Do not disturb you can set. And reminders to move, you have that on or off. It does not allow you to change the time, so it's from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. It's hard set. Now you have your all-day heart rate measurement and your language, your quick view, and your weather, Fahrenheit or Celsius, and of course you set to city. And then you do your upgrades through here as well for the firmware on the watch. The last page is just your user profile and your goal. So you can set your number of steps that you want to walk. It does it by thousands, so, anywhere from, I think, 1,000 all the way up, not 4,000 all the way up to, 35,000? So there you have the app. Kind of plain and simple, not as much going on here as there would be, say, a Fitbit app. But, this is a cheaper watch, and it's primarily aimed at those that just want a simple tracker. So there you have it. That was the UWatch2 by Umidigi. You might ask about what's good about this watch and what's bad about it. So, lucky for you, I prepared my list. So what I think I would say is good about this guy is, again, the sleep tracker is on the watch. So that I felt was a good thing for it. It's got different clock faces. You can download it. It's a good idea. I just wish that the round faces, would look better on this round body than they do. The weather, I like the weather app is the best one that I've seen on the smartwatch. Granted, I've only got 3 of these plus my Fitbit, an older Fitbit. And then, the camera could be a nice thing, the camera shutter that you have on there. And the music controls I actually found myself using quite a bit. So those are the things I like about it. By the way, this is IP67 rated, not IP68, just in case you're wondering. Some of the negatives is the inaccuracies, the questionable blood pressure, the questionable blood oxygen level, the only 3 of your most recent text messages are on there. All those things kind of take away from what this really could be. I mean, you think about it, at 1/3 the cost of what I paid for my Fitbit, which was on sale at 50% off. And, if they would have just nailed those things that they put on here, that I think would have knocked it out of the park for me. I mean, 2 watch bands, having an accurate step counter with accurate distance, accurate calorie burn. Not that I really use all those things, but having them on there, make them be a little bit more, reliable. So if you are in the market and you see one of these UWatches and you feel like, $25 isn't a bad price to pay for it, it's $25 directly from Umidigi. You can get either the rose color one or the black one. That refers to the color of the metallic band. I'm guessing they both come with this silicone band is what they call the sport band. Then sure, you can get it if you don't mind those inaccuracies and you don't mind the basic app or just having a basic fitness tracker. I mean, the other things on there are nice, but if they're not accurate, then they might, maybe they shouldn't be on there. Now, if you buy it from Amazon, I think the black one was $32.99. The rose one was $29.99. So, a little higher price, but you probably can get it a little faster, and plus probably a little easier to return it if you decide to do that. So next up is going to be the Umidigi UWatch GT, which I actually got on this hand. It's another round body, by the way. So being round, does it have a round clock face that actually fits, or is it going to be another square inside the circle? So stay tuned. You'll find out.